Most seniors don't realize the damage they're doing with every sip of certain alcohols. These drinks might seem harmless, but they're slowly stealing your vitality and health. Today, we'll break down the 4 types of alcohol you should never touch in your golden years and show you 4 powerful alternatives that will nourish your body instead of wearing it down. Make the right choice. It's not just about avoiding harm, it's about empowering your body to thrive. You see, our bodies, in their incredible wisdom, change as we age. How we process foods, how we react to medications, and yes, how we handle alcohol is different now than it was in our younger days. What might have been a harmless indulgence then could now be hiding certain risks that could sneak up on you and affect your quality of life. I've seen it countless times: individuals feeling sluggish, experiencing unexplained aches, or struggling with sleep, not realizing that a seemingly innocent nightly ritual could be a contributing factor. This isn't about blame, it's about awareness. Now, I'm not here to tell you that all enjoyment must cease. Far from it. Life is for living, for cherishing every moment. But knowledge is power, especially when it comes to our health. So if you've ever wondered if that nightly tipple is truly serving you well, or if there are smarter choices you could be making, then you are in exactly the right place. Don't you dare click away, because what I'm about to share isn't just a list. It's a pathway to feeling better, sharper, and more energetic. This information could genuinely be a game changer for your health and happiness, adding not just years to your life, but life to your years. Today, we're going to uncover the 4 types of alcoholic beverages that, frankly, you should consider striking off your list, or at least approaching with extreme caution, like a detective examining a suspicious clue. And more importantly, because we believe in solutions and positive changes, we'll explore 4 wonderful, healthier alternatives that can still bring joy and conviviality to your life without the hidden downsides. This isn't just another health lecture. This is about empowering you specifically, to make informed choices for a vibrant, healthier future. Stick with me, because the last piece of information I'll share is perhaps the most crucial of all, a key that could unlock a new level of well-being for you. Let's begin this important journey together. The sugary siren, deceptively sweet, surprisingly harmful. Alright, let's dive straight into our first category of drinks to be wary of. Those incredibly tempting, often brightly colored, sugary cocktails and mixed drinks. Think of those luscious-looking piña coladas that promise a taste of the tropics, the salt-rimmed margaritas, especially the pre-mixed ones you find in bottles, which are often the worst offenders, the sweet and frosty daiquiris, those deceptively refreshing sweet iced teas with a hidden alcoholic kick, or indeed any concoction where sugar is a star player alongside the alcohol. These are the drinks that often call to us from glossy menus or festive party tables, whispering sweet nothings that can lead to not-so-sweet consequences. Now, why are these such a profound concern, particularly for us as we mature, as our bodies have carried us through so many decades of life? Well, there are several layers to this, like peeling an onion, and each layer reveals a more compelling reason for caution. First and foremost, the sheer, unadulterated sugar content. It's almost shocking when you look into it. Many of these popular drinks pack an astonishing amount of refined sugar, sometimes equivalent to multiple dessert servings. Think 2 or 3 donuts, or a large slice of cake, all condensed into a single glass. Imagine that. As we age, our bodies often become less efficient at managing blood sugar levels. Our pancreas, which produces insulin, may not be as robust as it once was, and our cells can become more resistant to insulin's effects. For individuals already navigating pre-diabetes, type 2 diabetes, or even those simply striving to maintain a healthy weight and avoid the onset of these conditions, these sugar bombs can send your glucose readings on a wild roller coaster ride, soaring to unhealthy peaks. This isn't just a momentary spike that quickly resolves itself. Consistent high sugar intake is a major driver of chronic inflammation throughout the body. Think of inflammation as a slow-burning fire inside your cells and tissues. This chronic inflammation is implicated in a vast array of age-related conditions, from arthritis and heart disease to cognitive decline. These sugary drinks can also accelerate weight gain, particularly the accumulation of visceral fat around the midsection. This type of fat is not just an aesthetic concern, it's metabolically active and produces inflammatory substances, further increasing the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and certain cancers. And let's not forget the energy crashes. That initial sugar rush might feel good for a fleeting moment, but it's inevitably followed by a slump, leaving you feeling sluggish, irritable, and more fatigued than refreshed, which is the opposite of what you're hoping for from a relaxing drink. Imagine you're enjoying a beautiful sunset, perhaps on holiday or in your own garden, sipping on what seems like a delightful tropical escape in a glass. But internally, your body is launching an all-out defense, working overtime to process that immense sugar rush, potentially exacerbating insulin resistance with every sip over time. Insulin resistance, as many of you may know, is a key factor in the development of metabolic syndrome and type 2 diabetes, so anything that pushes us further in that direction is worth a very serious second thought. It's like unknowingly adding fuel to a fire you're trying to put out. Beyond the sugar itself, which is problematic enough, these drinks often utilize heavily processed fruit juices, corn syrup-laden syrups, and a cocktail of artificial flavorings and colorings. These ingredients offer little to no nutritional value. They are, in essence, empty calories that provide a burst of energy but lack the essential vitamins, minerals, fiber, and phytonutrients our bodies desperately need to thrive, especially as we age and nutrient absorption can become less efficient. When we're consciously trying to ensure every calorie we consume counts towards our nutritional goals, supporting our bones, our brains, and our immune systems, these beverages can really set us back, diluting our efforts. Another subtle but significant danger is how the intense sweetness of these drinks effectively masks the taste and therefore the strength of the alcohol. This can make it incredibly easy to consume more alcohol than you intend, or certainly more than your body can comfortably handle in its current stage of life. You might not realize just how potent that beautifully presented, innocent-looking drink truly is until you've had one or perhaps two. And by then, the effects of the alcohol dizziness, impaired coordination, confusion can be far more pronounced and potentially problematic than you anticipated. This overconsumption, facilitated by the sugar, can lead to quicker intoxication. A significantly increased risk of falls, a major and often devastating concern for seniors, and a more severe, prolonged hangover the next day. A bad hangover as a senior isn't just a day of feeling unwell. It can disrupt your sleep schedule, your medication routine, your appetite, and your overall well-being for far longer than you'd like, sometimes for several days. Furthermore, the potent combination of high sugar and alcohol can be particularly dehydrating. Alcohol itself is a diuretic, meaning it encourages your body to expel fluids, primarily through increased urination. When you add a high sugar load into the mix, which also requires water for its metabolic processing, you're essentially setting yourself up for a double whammy of potential dehydration. Dehydration in seniors is not a trivial matter. It can manifest as persistent headaches, dizziness again, increasing fall risk, constipation, a common issue for many older adults, dry mouth, muscle cramps, and even confusion or delirium in more severe cases. Maintaining good hydration is fundamental to health, and these drinks actively work against it. So, while that sweet, fruity cocktail, perhaps adorned with a little paper umbrella, might seem like a harmless, festive treat, its potential impact on your blood sugar, your weight, your inflammatory status, your hydration levels, and your overall metabolic health makes it a beverage to approach with extreme caution, or more wisely, to avoid altogether in favor of choices that truly nourish and support your well-being. The healthier sip, embracing natural flavors and moderation. Now that we've unmasked the pitfalls of those deceptively sugary concoctions, the natural question arises: what's a delightful, sophisticated, and more health-conscious alternative? How can we still enjoy a special beverage without inviting a host of unwelcome health issues? Let me introduce you to the simple elegance of dry red wine in strict, carefully measured moderation, or the wonderfully refreshing and versatile world of thoughtfully crafted mocktails using fresh, natural ingredients. Let's talk about red wine first, as it often comes up in discussions about alcohol and health. For many years, red wine, particularly when consumed in genuine moderation, has been associated with certain potential health benefits. These are often attributed to a class of powerful antioxidants called polyphenols, with resveratrol being the most famous among them, found abundantly in the skins of red and purple grapes. These compounds are thought to have protective effects on the heart and blood vessels by improving cholesterol profiles, reducing inflammation, and preventing blood clots. Some research even suggests a link to brain health, though this is still an area of active investigation. Now, moderation is the absolute, non-negotiable key word here, and it's utterly crucial to understand what this means, especially for seniors. For older adults, the generally accepted definition of moderation is typically no more than 1 standard drink per day for women and up to, but not exceeding, 1 to 2 standard drinks per day for men. And it's important to note that many health authorities are now leaning towards just 1 drink a day for men over 65 as well. A standard drink of wine is generally considered to be 5 ounces, which is approximately 140 to 150 milliliters. It's so important to be honest with yourself about pour sizes, especially when pouring at home where glasses can be very large. It's remarkably easy to pour a glass that's actually closer to 2 standard drinks without even realizing it. Using a measuring jigger or a smaller wine glass can be very helpful here. Choosing a dry red wine, such as a Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Pinot Noir, Syrah, or a dry rosé, is generally a better option than sweeter varieties like some Zinfandels, dessert wines, or many white wines that can have more residual sugar. Dry wines contain less sugar, which means less impact on your blood sugar levels and fewer empty calories. Sipping a small glass of dry red wine slowly, perhaps with a meal, allows you to savor the complex flavors, the tannins, the fruit notes, the earthy undertones, and can be a genuinely relaxing and enjoyable part of an evening routine or a social gathering. It encourages a more mindful approach to drinking, a savoring rather than a gulping, which is quite different from the rapid consumption that can easily happen with overly sweet, less complex drinks. However, it's absolutely vital to remember that even with red wine, alcohol is still alcohol. It is a toxin that the body has to process. If you have certain pre-existing medical conditions, such as liver disease, a history of pancreatitis, certain heart rhythm problems, or if you are taking medications that interact with alcohol, and many common senior medications do, including some blood thinners, painkillers, sleeping aids, and drugs for diabetes or blood pressure, then even a small amount of red wine might not be suitable or could be actively harmful. This is where an open and honest conversation with your doctor or a trusted healthcare provider is invaluable. They know your personal health history and your medication regimen and can give you tailored advice. And it's crucial to state this clearly. If you don't currently drink alcohol, there's certainly no compelling health reason to start drinking red wine just for its potential antioxidant benefits. You can obtain ample and arguably safer antioxidants from a diet rich in colorful fruits, especially berries, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and even a small amount of dark chocolate. Now, for an option that completely sidesteps alcohol, but still feels special, celebratory, and incredibly satisfying, let's explore the wonderful, creative, and health-promoting world of mocktails made with fresh, natural ingredients. This is where you can truly let your imagination run wild and tailor a drink perfectly to your taste preferences and your specific health needs. This is about creating joy in a glass without any of the alcoholic repercussions. Think about sparkling water, plain, unsweetened carbonated water, or club soda as your brilliant base. It provides that lovely, satisfying fizziness, that celebratory sparkle without any sugar, artificial sweetness, or calories. It's also wonderfully hydrating. Then the fun begins. Infuse it with an array of natural flavors. Muddle some fresh berries like raspberries, blueberries, or blackberries directly in the glass to release their juices, their vibrant color, and their potent antioxidant compounds. Add a generous squeeze of fresh lime or lemon juice for a zesty, tangy kick that awakens the palate. Incorporate fresh mint leaves, a few sprigs of basil for a slightly peppery note, or even a delicate sprig of rosemary for an aromatic and surprisingly sophisticated herbal twist. A few thin slices of cucumber, perhaps with a slice of lime, can add a wonderfully refreshing coolness, perfect for a warm day. Let your creativity flow. For example, you could create a vibrant no-jito, a non-alcoholic mojito with sparkling water, plenty of fresh lime juice, muddled mint leaves, and perhaps a tiny dash of natural, unsweetened pomegranate or cranberry juice just for a hint of color and a touch more tartness, if you desire a hint of sweetness without refined sugar. Or how about a berry bliss spritzer with sparkling water? A handful of crushed mixed berries, strawberries, and blueberries work beautifully, and a thin slice of orange or a twist of lemon peel for garnish. You could make a ginger zinger with sparkling water, freshly grated ginger, or a splash of unsweetened ginger juice, a squeeze of lime, and maybe a tiny drizzle of honey or maple syrup. if you need a touch of sweetness, though often the ginger and lime are enough. The true beauty of these homemade mocktails is that you have complete and utter control over every single ingredient. You know exactly what's going into your glass, no hidden sugars lurking in pre-made mixes, no artificial sweeteners with their own set of potential concerns, no mysterious syrups or chemical flavorings. You are actively hydrating your body while simultaneously delighting your taste buds and nourishing yourself with a gentle dose of vitamins, minerals and phytonutrients from the fresh fruits, vegetables and herbs you choose. These drinks can be just as festive, just as enjoyable, and just as suitable for a social occasion as their alcoholic, sugary counterparts, but they come with the immense added benefits of promoting hydration, supporting your immune system, and keeping your head clear and your body feeling good. So instead of automatically reaching for that sugar-laden cocktail that might taste good for a moment but leaves you feeling worse later, consider a small, carefully measured glass of dry red wine if, and only if, it aligns with your personal health situation and your doctor's explicit advice. Or even better, open the door to the vibrant, endlessly customizable, and truly health-enhancing world of natural mocktails. Your body, your mind, and your taste buds will genuinely thank you for making such a thoughtful and beneficial choice. Happy transition, we've successfully navigated the treacherous waters of sweet deceptions, but our journey isn't over. What about those drinks often perceived as strong, classic, or perhaps even a masculine rite of passage? The next category of alcohol we're about to explore might surprise you, as it's a common choice for many, yet it carries significant, often underestimated, risks as we gracefully age. And the alternative? It's surprisingly simple, refreshingly straightforward, and incredibly effective in safeguarding your health. Please stay with me for this next crucial insight: the potent pour high-proof liquors and their hidden impact. Let's move on now to our second major category of alcoholic beverages that seniors should be exceptionally cautious about: high-proof liquors, especially when they are consumed neat straight, with no additions, on the rocks with ice only, or most concerningly as shots. We're talking here about the classic spirits like whiskey, including scotch, bourbon, rye, vodka, gin, rum, tequila, brandy and similar distilled beverages. These typically have a high alcohol by volume ABV, often starting at 40%, which is 80 proof, and can go significantly higher, particularly with some cask-strength whiskies or specialized vodkas and rums. Now, it's true that a very small, carefully measured, and significantly diluted drink made with one of these spirits might be managed by some older adults without immediate ill effect. However, the primary danger often lies in the sheer concentration of alcohol in these beverages and the customary ways in which they are consumed. Drinking these potent spirits straight from the bottle, or with just a little ice to slightly chill them, means you are ingesting a very concentrated, undiluted dose of ethanol alcohol in a relatively short amount of time. Why is this a particular and escalating concern for older adults, more so than for their younger counterparts? Our bodies, as they accumulate wisdom and experience, also undergo several physiological changes that fundamentally alter how we metabolize and react to alcohol. Firstly, a key change is that our total body water content tends to decrease as we age. Lean muscle mass, which holds more water, often declines, while body fat percentage may increase and fat holds less water. Since alcohol is highly water-soluble, less body water means that the same amount of alcohol will result in a higher blood alcohol concentration back in an older person compared to a younger person of the same gender and weight. Essentially, you can become intoxicated more quickly and from a noticeably smaller amount of alcohol than you might have in your 30s or 40s. The usual drink might suddenly feel much stronger. Secondly, liver function can become less efficient with age. The liver is the primary organ responsible for the complex metabolic process of breaking down alcohol into less harmful substances. With age, liver size may decrease, blood flow to the liver can reduce, and the activity of the enzymes responsible for alcohol metabolism, like alcohol dehydrogenase, may decline. A reduced capacity to metabolize alcohol means it stays active in your system for a longer period, prolonging its intoxicating effects and increasing the potential for liver strain, inflammation, and over time, with regular, concentrated intake, more serious liver damage such as fatty liver disease or cirrhosis. Similarly, kidney function, which helps filter waste products including some byproducts of alcohol metabolism from the blood, can also decline with age, making it harder for the body to efficiently clear alcohol and its metabolites. Consuming high-proof liquor straight, without any buffer from food or non-alcoholic mixers, delivers a rapid and intense hit to your central nervous system. Alcohol is a depressant, and in concentrated doses, it can quickly impair crucial brain functions. Your judgment becomes clouded, your coordination deteriorates, your reaction time slows considerably, and your speech may become slurred. For seniors, this dramatically elevates the risk of falls. And a fall, as we all know, can have truly devastating and life-altering consequences for an older adult, potentially leading to fractures, especially hip fractures, head injuries, prolonged hospitalizations, a need for long-term care, and a significant loss of independence and quality of life. Even a slight impairment in balance or a moment of dizziness caused by strong alcohol can be incredibly dangerous on stairs, in the bathroom, or even just walking across a room. Furthermore, these strong spirits can be quite harsh on the delicate lining of the stomach and esophagus. They can irritate the gastric mucosa, potentially exacerbating conditions like gastritis, inflammation of the stomach lining, peptic ulcers, or acid reflux GERD, all of which tend to be more common in older adults. This irritation can cause pain, nausea, and can also interfere with the proper absorption of essential nutrients from your food at a time in life when nutrient absorption might already be a concern. Another absolutely critical consideration is the potential for dangerous medication interactions. A vast majority of seniors, it's estimated that over 90% of those over 65 take at least one prescription medication, and a significant percentage take 5 or more polypharmacy. High-proof alcohol can have serious, sometimes life-threatening interactions with an incredibly wide range of common medications. These include, but are not limited to, medications for high blood pressure, heart conditions like beta blockers or nitrates, diabetes, oral hypoglycemics or insulin, blood thinners like warfarin or newer anticoagulants, pain relief both over-the-counter like NSAIDs and prescription opioids, medications for anxiety or depression like benzodiazepines or S3s, and sleep disorders, sedative hypnotics.